Okay, Hamalva Mos es HaKohen. There's Alevis Oni. Lios Mafresh Aleim Michelkon. This person has to give Truma. Person has to give mice to the Levi. Person gives mice Oni to the Oni, right? And he lends the money, and he wants to, when he's Mafresh, when he tithes the Truma, the Meiser, and the Mice Oni, he's Mafresh Michelkon. So he tithes from their portion. So he doesn't know whether they're alive or not, but he, based on Cheskes Chai, presumption alive, he could assume that they're alive. Maybe the poor man became wealthy, right? You have to get Rishus Min Yorshim. Why? Because the Yorshim are not bound by the debt of what? Of the father. In Hilvim Pnei Bezdin, what about if they borrowed the presence of Bezdin? Then you don't have to. So Rashi says, what's the reason? The Yeshkoch Bezdin Hatel Chov Ze Al Kol Hakuna V'Alavia Lefisha Takonosim Hu Sheyimtzu Mos Lahavo, because to provide that there should be money available to lend, so therefore they have a right to take. They could collect a portion of that without. Okay, just do Rashi before. He could sell the truma and withhold the money. He could keep for himself. Right, for the Levi, he has to take meiser min meiser, because the Levi himself had. The man, the Kohen. It's not because he's stealing, because he already gave the Kohen the value. Okay, further. We're saying he's able, so that's the question. How could he collect the Truma and the Meiser? And the Meiser Oni, they never received it, right? Let's say a Kohen has Truma, and he's a debtor, and he owes me money. He gives me the Truma. The Truma is monetarily, he says, he gives it to me. I can't eat it. I could sell it, right? But over here, it says, he's mafresh. He never gives it to the Kohen. If he never gives it, he tithes it, and then he keeps it for that Kohen's debt. But that Kohen was never zoche. When your mafresh Truma belongs to all Kohanim, right? It doesn't belong to that one particular Kohen. So if it doesn't belong to that one particular Kohen, how do you have a right to collect it, right? That's the first question. We're speaking about Makire Kuna Levia, meaning this person has his designated Kohen. Hello? Okay, let's. Now, it's interesting. There's a famous Meiri of Basra. What's the whole concept of Makir Kona? The more answer, speaking Makir Kona, he has his designated Kohen, he always gives it to. But the question is, but how is his Zoche? How did he take possession? Right, the first question is, how does he have right to collect? The Truma belongs to all Kohanim. The Maisa belongs to all what's his name, all Leviim. The Maisa belongs to all Aniyim. Until he takes possession, it's not his. Right. So how could you collect your debt from that? He hasn't taken possession yet, right? That was, Mara says he has his designated Kohen. So the Meiri explains, above Basra, let's say you have one Kohen in the world. Now, and then you take Truma. The Truma immediately belongs to that one Kohen. There's no other Kohen. When all Kohanim know that this person has his designated Kohen to give to, all the others, they're miyayish. Meaning they despair. Right. So if they despair, it's as if they're removing themselves. Right. So it turns out it's as if he's the only Kohen. Okay. So if that's the case, it's his. So he's ready to take possession because he's the Kohen. That's the equivalent, take possession.
Does he have to make a kinyan?
No, it's his. The Torah says Truma belongs to the Kohen. Right, if you have one Kohen, Torah already, Yerusha, person inherits, does he have to make a kinyan?
No, it's automatic.
Because the Torah transferred into his domain.
Right.
So Makir Kuni, he's the only Kohen. So the Torah transfers it directly to him. Because there's no other Kohen but him. Because all the other Kohanim, they remove themselves from it. Because they understand they have no relevance to it. Okay? Same thing with the Levi, same thing with the Maisa Oni. Meaning, because he has permission, he gives to a third party. The third party takes possession on behalf of the Kohen, on behalf of the Levi, on behalf of the Oni. Also, again, it's rabbinical. This is Hefker Bez and Hefker. The Chazal say, because we want to encourage the Levi and the Kohen, these people should have money available to borrow. Therefore, they want to make it easy for them. So Chazal say Hefker Bez and Hefker. They have the ability to transfer the money. Meaning, they make it as if the Kohen already collected. They transfer it into the domain of the creditor. You're a Kohen, I lend you money. Now, if I take Truma, I could collect the debt, rather than going to you, the Truma that I normally would give you. Wait. If I give you the Truma, then you want to pay the debt, that's fine, because you take possession. But here we say, I could even collect the debt, even if I give you the Truma. I'll tithe it, and I say, this Truma is for the debt you owe me. But the fact is, you never took possession. The Truma, when you tithe it, belongs to all the Kohanim. So how could I collect the debt from somebody else's Truma? It hasn't yet become yours, because you didn't make a kinyan. This Kohen, or this Levi, or this Oni didn't acquire it yet.
He also hasn't really given it to the Kohen, because it's not his possession. But once he's tithed it,
that's the equivalent, as if I gave it. But you didn't give it. That's the difficulty. So we gave three answers. Either he's the designated Kohen, or he gave it to a third party to take possession on behalf of the Kohen, and then he gives it back to him, or it's a special takona, Hefke Bezdin Hefke. Also Shein Zoche ki Zoche. Although he wasn't Zoche, Hefke Bezdin, the court, the Bezdin, Chazal, they transferred it. The reason why they all reject Rav, because Rav is speaking about a very specific case. That he's the designated Kohen of the lender. Again, it's not speaking where it seems to be he's able to just take it, right? He doesn't have to give it to a third party. Because Rabbi Yossi is, this whole concept of Ososhe Nezoche Zoche is a minority opinion, so we're not going to go and set it up according to that. Because the question, did Chazal ever say such a thing? Did he such a thing? Right? 1 second. Right. Yeah. See, in other places where it's also zocher, see, normally we're talking about here. You have to transfer to the Kohen and transfer it back. It's a double direction. Okay. The Gemara, let's say in Bohora speaks when it mentions this concept, it just has to be hefker, so they can be mafkeret. Because there's a question when we Chazal say hefker best and hefker, do they just have the ability to condemn property, or they have the ability even to transfer property? Right. If it's condemning, that's mafkeret. It's ownerless. It's ownerless. It transfers something else. Okay. But here they have to do two things. They have to transfer it to the Kohen and then transfer it back to the Yisrael. Okay, further. Ton Rabbanon. Hamalva Moses according to Salivis only lios mafresh aleim mechelkon mafresh aleim mechazoko shein kayom. It's the Mishnah. Poskimon kisharazol. And now, how do you evaluate what you're taking? It's according to sharazol, meaning the least amounts. So the lender is making money on this. I mean, there's a market. Which market? The least expensive. So he's maximizing on his loan because when he collects, it's sharazol. There's no ribis because even though he's collecting more, that's not ribis. Okay, so Rashi Emo ribis shap poskim. Normally, when you lend money, you have to wait till the market stabilizes, and right. Right here, even though you lend you're going to pay. You say, you know something. Whatever the value of the dollar is, you're going to pay whatever the value is then. It turns out you could be making money over here, right? You lend a dollar, it's worth less, and you collect when it's worth more, right? So. Normally, a normal loan, you can't do this when the man pays out of his own pocket. But since over here he's not paying out of his own pocket, therefore you could do it. Okay? Even though he originally he didn't designate what kamisha posek domi. Then b'shum ribis my time kevin the less lay lo yov leg. Yeah. What he doesn't have to give him. Ki islay nami im b'shum ribis. Yeah. What he says. Rega. 1 second. What's the rationale? V'shah poskim bina atchei tzashar. Kan poskim shasavo b'kach v'kach. Apish lo yotzashar v'bo lachzer. It's further. What's the rationale? Since if he doesn't have to pay, he doesn't have to give to pay. Ki islay nami ein bo mishum ribis. Even when he has, there's no ribis. What's that rationale? How does he explain that?
They're talking about the profit that he's getting.
He has the upper hand. Here the lender is getting more
than he.
So he's like taking advantage, but it doesn't make a difference because if he doesn't have, you could take from the truma. So even when he pays, you could also get the higher price. How does he explain the concept?
This is an exception to the general prohibition against taking interest. The
Right.
generally forbids a lender to advance money and stipulates that the borrower will pay him the credit to be valued at a certain price.
Right.
Rather, forbade this for the bond reason that set prices lower than the market price at the time of repayment. The lender will have acquired the produce at a lower price because he advanced money to the borrower.
Right.
In effect, then he will have received interest for lending money.
Right.
Only if the market price had been established at the time of the loan is it permissible for the creditor.
That's under normal circumstances. But here,
Which explains why it's a bit split in that case.
yeah, so good.
The way we discussed in our price, however, is an exception to
Right.
the rule. In Price's case, the lender may make a stipulation even if the market price has not yet been established.
Right.
According to Harashon and Mashba.
Okay, good.
Explain shortly why.
Yeah, good. So that's what I want to know. Similar is the rationale. Because if he doesn't have to pay, you could take. So even when he pays, you could also take, even though the market hasn't been established. And what's that rationale? But factually, he's paying out of pocket. Once he takes possession, he's paying out of pocket. Right? If he doesn't have to give him. He just takes out of the truma. Right? He takes it out of the till. The lender takes it out of the till. So ki islay, when he does have, nami ein bo mishum ribis. I think what he's saying is like this. If he pays, let's say he doesn't have, so what does he do? He takes that out of his percentage that he normally would give him for truma. Let's say the Kohen is paying in truma. He's paying in truma. He's not paying out of his own pocket.
Okay.
Right?
Right.
So then, he could give him the same thing because it's no different than him taking himself. You understand what I'm saying?
Okay.
Normally, there's a rabbinic prohibition. You're not permitted to do this under normal circumstances, a normal loan. Because it appears you're getting more than you actually, right, that you're making profit on it because you advanced the money. But if, let's say he doesn't have it, I want to take out of the truma, since it's not coming directly from him, right? So therefore, that's the leniency.
Good.
Okay? And we're doing this because we want the lender, we're encouraging the lender to lend the Kohen, or lend the poor man, or lend the Levi. So therefore, even when he does pay, because it's the same scenario,
Should be accepted.
then shis mishamtos lo karim bi lo yigos. Normally, I lend money. What happens when Shemitah comes?
You forgive it.
No, it's canceled.
Right.
No, it's not forgiven. It's
No,
canceled.
it's canceled.
But here, even though it's a loan, it's not canceled. Why? Because lo yigos means I can't go after you, right? I'm not. You don't have to go after. This type of loan is I'm taking from Truma. I'm not going after the borrower,
Uh-huh.
right? The way Chazal set up the collection system, you're not going after him. That's not called going after him. He's not personally held accountable. He doesn't have, you collect from Truma. Vimbol laze in a choser. Yeah, in bol laze in a choser. What is it? Omer afal lo shana lebalabayis bekoin. Avo koin balabayis in bol laze chos mean. Let's say what's his name? The lender, he wants to change the arrangement. He says, I don't want to collect from Truma, I want you to pay. Once he locks it in, I lend it on the condition I collect from your Truma.
Yes,
Or the Levi, he cannot back out on it. He's locked into the deal. Meaning we're giving the Kohen the easiest payment schedule. He doesn't have to pay out of pocket. He doesn't have, go collect from the Truma. Avol kol Kohen balabayis. What about the Kohen balabayis? Because in a certain way, the balabayis has the upper hand, as we said, right? Even though the shar, the market hasn't been set, the lender can actually have have gain here.
Right.
Let's say the Kohen says, I want to rewrite the condition. The Kohen could back out. He could rewrite it. In what Lazachos did not nosen lo moshe heimenu payros yochel lazabo. Factually, if he gave him money and he did not get possession of the truma, the what's his name, the one who tithed that did not take possession of the truma yet, he takes truma, then he takes possession of the truma that he tithes on his own grain.
Right.
At that, before he took possession, the Kohen says, "I want to change the deal." He can back out. So the Balbais cannot back out on the Kohen. The Kohen can back out on, because why are we saying this? Because we're all doing this to be in the best interest of the Kohen, to make life easier for him. Because the Kohen normally doesn't have assets, right? He has no assets. Nis'aishu abaylim, a mafrish aleim, fi shei mafrishin al ovid. Yeah. What about the grain was lost, right? If you lose something, and then the owner who lost it despairs, right? What happens once you despair? It's gone. Whoever finds it takes possession. Nishyasha bailim e mafrish alein. So the Yisrael cannot tithe. Lefi shei mafrish al ovud, right? You can't be mafrish on something that's lost. So versus pshito, lo tzricha da'akun. Da'akun. Mal de se ma'aknus of milsehi kamashimon. Yeah. 1 second. Rega. Lo tzricha da'akun. The kem dosub kezoche. Yeah. Rega. Kem dosub kezoche. 1 second. 1 second. לא צריך דאקון, בשעה שיובשו, שיבשישו כבר עולו בקונה. What? מהו דסיים אקנוס of מילסי, דמשעולו בקונה מסייבשים חוסם מסקנים, מוס לא שכיחה הוא שיהיו מסקלטן לגמרי, לא יהיו שמעל יקומש מלון. Here, we're speaking about, when was he miyayish? He was miyayish when it was growing on the field. He was growing in the field. It starts sprouting, and all of a sudden it starts drying. So what would you say? You would say, I don't get it, but there's no taking truma. I mean, he can only take possession after when it's cut, when it's harvested. Who? The Kohen. The Kohen's miyayish. The Kohen or the Balabayis. So, and he's miyayish? No. Yes, I don't get it. First, you're not miyayish from karka. It's attached to the ground. The yush means nothing, right? Yush is only a metaltal, and yush doesn't apply to karka. No, I'm asking. Why? Lo tzricha da'akun. We're speaking about a dry. Agnos of milsehi, kamash malon. 1 second. Lo tzich da'akon v'shoshi yov shuv nisyayish kvar olu bekone. Da'akon v'silsim v'sho olu bekone hem nisyapshim chosim v'saknin o shchichu shim niskalten garim v'lo have yiyush ma'al yo kamash malon. Second, let me just see what he says here. Is that right? Hear what he's saying? Excuse me, I'm sorry. Hello? Tithe the stalks that grow, he's going to tithe it on another. So that was going to be the truma. So what does it mean? So he has a right to take that as the truma. He despairs. He figures it's not going to happen. We're not saying yush. It's not conventional. He does despair. So you would think that since it normally comes back, so factually that truma will come to fruition. He'll harvest it and he'll take that crop to tithe on his other crop. But it turns out, but factually, so if it's not despair, so he takes it, he collects for the debt from the Kohen. But let's say it is despair. If it's despair, you know what Chazal said, you only have a right to take it. No. If it was meant to be yours. But if you yourself already relinquished the right, we don't give it back to you. You hear the way he's explaining it? Let's say, really, on a Torah level, it belongs to the Kohen. And you can't. But we made a special innovation here to make it easy for the Kohen, that what's meant to be truma, you have a right to collect, as if it was his already. Let's say what was meant to be, so we already see it as truma even before it was harvested. That was going to be truma, you already have a right to take it in advance. You have a right to take it in advance. But let's say when it grew, you saw it wasn't going to happen, and you gave up, you say, I'm not going to have anything to collect from. The Kohen doesn't have. Once you despair, even if it turns out to be truma, you have to give it to the Kohen. Because since when it was growing, you despaired, that means what you had a right to, you forfeit a right. The Kohen owes you nothing. Kohen owes you nothing, and that means you have to give it to the Kohen. You following what he's saying? Let's say, not the Kohanim, this Kohen.
You still have to give
You have to give it to him. If it's Makir Kuni, you have to give it to him.
Not as a personal loan, but...
No. As truma, you have to give it to him. Exactly. But you say, but he had a right to collect it. He had a right to collect it as a debt.
Right, but
now because since you despaired from collecting it as a debt, so therefore the payment of debt doesn't exist any longer. But now that it turned out to be viable grain, you have to. It's truma. What do you do with truma? You have to give it to him.
To a Kohen.
To this Kohen.
Yeah.
To this Kohen.
Right.
That's the way he explains it. Lo tzich da'akum al desei ma'aknus milsi. Kamashmo, Tanya, Reb Lesben Yaakov, Malva Moses, according to Salev Bezdin. Right, the Mishnah concludes. If you do it in Bezdin, you don't have to ask permission from the Yorshim. Right? We're talking from the heirs.
Good.
Because since the heirs are not obligated to collect, but if you do it in Bezdin, right, then they could establish the obligation. Right? 1 second. Hamalvis Moses, according to Salev, Meisu Mafshlim, Becheskes Osa Shevet. Becheskes Osa Vimaoni Bebezdin, Umes, again, Hamal Mivmos as according to Salevi Bebezdin. He lends it to him, Bebezdin, Umesu.
Who's dying?
The Kohen Levi died, the debtors died.
Good.
Mavshlim Becheskas Osa Shevet. And what? And he collects. Right? The Malva collects. Wait a second. Sha'akorav lembos ha'sheva roy liyorsham v'im zochim b'mais tikoch ya'akiv zeh ha'maises b'yisla korav lem levio. Meaning, the relative in this group inherits. The Kohen borrowed. So now, because it was done at Bezdin, it's as if the relative is obligated.
Still there. Right?
No,
The
it's
obligation is there
on who?
On
the heir.
person to give it to the heir, right?
No, not the person to give it to the heir. The heir, even though the heir is not a debtor,
Right.
but we make it as if the heir inherited, and therefore you could collect it from the heir.
Oh, okay.
You hear what it's saying?
So
Hamalva says, "Meisu mafshalem becheskes os shevet, v'soni bezna mes mafshalem becheskes le yisrael."
So he assumes that debt.
It's as if he assumes that, therefore you have a right to collect it. Ravachi Omer becheskes ani olam. It's not osa shevet. What? So what, the question is, what difference make? Right? So Mer says, my beinayu, ikbeinayu ani kusim. Yeah, 1 second. Shem ein ani yisol be'er v'yesh ani kusim, mafshet l'tzorchum, yakrim lot, same thing. Shafheim zochem hem the kusim geri emes, you this? Heim ultana kama geri aro, you're saying? Kusim, there was the Kuthites, they converted. So the question, was it a valid conversion or not? So if you hold it's not a valid conversion, so therefore it's who's zoch in it? You set it aside for Adi Yisrael, then you take it. But if you hold their Kusim are also, even though they live like Goyim, you set it aside for them also, and then you take it. Lo yavshim shvilom el b'shani Yisrael yavshachol mokum ikabedei ani Kusim heshiv ha'oshir heshir ra'oni. The Mishnah says ein mafshalem. If the poor man became wealthy, then you can't set it aside. Right? You got it? You have Maisa Oni. You have to give it to an Oni. What happens? The Oni who originally I lent it to as a poor man, now he's a rich man. So now when I tithe the Meiser, I can't tithe it on his behalf because he no longer has a right for it. So Hesher Oni a Mafsha Olav. V'zocha halo b'mashu b'yodo. Yeah. That was the original loan. See, he read, you'd say, normally you'd say, I lent you when you're poor, I was going to collect from the Maisoni. Now that you're rich, pay, because I can't collect from Maisoni on your behalf. No, he borrowed initially that he doesn't have to pay. He borrowed that he doesn't have to pay. That was the mindset of the lender.
Mm.
So if you can't collect from the Oni, because now he has no claim, the borrower no longer has a claim, you're out. The lender, no, not you, the lender, he has no claim anymore.
Right.
You see, the two ways to look at it. Initially, if he lent him on the condition that he owes. The poor man owes, except I'll collect it from my Oni. Fine.
The poor man wouldn't pay anything.
No, but wait, so if the poor man becomes rich, now you have to pay. But what about that? The mindset was, I'm lending you money because I believe I'll collect. And it's not your responsibility. That's the mindset of the lender. And now the lender becomes rich. The borrower becomes rich. The lender can't go to the man to pay the debt because his mindset was, I'll take care of it.
Right.
You don't have to worry about it. That's what it says. Heshir oni a mafish olo right v'zocha lo b'mashu b'yodo, and the borrower, he keeps what he has. Rabbonan ma'ishno lemiso ma'ishno lemiso dov takanto ma'ishno lashir lo takanto. He says some good question. We say, what happens if the borrower dies? It says you go to the heirs. We see it as if the heirs took possession. Want the same thing. Dying should be like you becoming rich. I lent you the money, you don't have to worry about it. Right? That's what we're saying. Therefore, he owes nothing, so now he becomes rich, you have nowhere to collect from. Same thing. You're the borrower, you owe the money. You don't have to worry about, I'll take from your portion of my Oni. The man dies. It's your problem.
Mm-hmm.
It should be the problem of the lender. Why does he have a right to take from the portion of the other Aniyim? Right? His mindset was, I'll work it out. I'll take it from your portion. So if he has no portion now because he died, he shouldn't have anything. So that's the first question. Why do we make a takana if he dies as a poor man, but we don't make a special takana if the poor man becomes a rich man? Rabban Maishno lebisa de takanto, Maishno lashis lo takanto. So more says misa shchicha. See, misa death. See, working it out. I'll work it out. You don't have to worry. You know something. But if you die, the man is not agreeable, because dying is not so remote. So you know something, I'm not going to lend the poor man if I'm not going to be able to collect the debt. So unless the heirs are going to be obligated,
Then
right?
no comment.
I'm not lending the money.
Right.
But if a poor man becoming rich, that's something remote. So they're not going to make a takona for something which is remote. So therefore, the mindset of a person poor becoming rich, he says, you know something, I'll worry about it. You don't have to worry about it.
Mm-hmm.
But if he's surprised and he does become rich, then he loses. Right? Right? People say, Chabrich mis asher is asher lo ta'asher. Lo tamin means lo tamin. Chabrich mis asher is asher lo ta'asher. It's almost like a play on words. Yeah, a man dying, you know, in Hebrew, man in Hebrew, you know, ishurim, ishur. I mean, you can believe that. You know, you get yourself the what's his name, the permit. Mis asher is asher lo ta'asher. Meis tzarich lito reshus, right? If he dies, you have to get reshus from the bezdin. Tanya Rabbi Oma Yorshin Shiyorshu. Umiki Yoshim Lo Yarsi. What would it be? Rebbe says the heirs who inherit, if they're heirs, they inherit. Miki Yoshim Lo Yarsi Elarim Yochen Shiyorshu Karkav Lo Yorshu Ksofim. Oh, yeah. What happens if heirs inherit money?
Right.
Right? The money is not lien to pay the debt of the father. Man, a father owes money and he dies, and he leaves cash for the kids. The kids could take that cash, put it in their pocket, because the moment he dies, the cash shifts out. What about if it's his fixed property? The property is linked to the debt.
Yeah.
So it's linked to the debt. The creditors come after the property, right? Because they have a hold on the property with the lien, right? Yeah. When do you have a right to come after? Let's say he left over a piece of property was no longer than where you could insert a needle in the ground. That's how large the real estate was. Moli kardum. Yeah, moli mach moli kardum, go for moli kardum. Right? He had two pieces. One is tiny. One is the size you could put actually a shovel into it or an axe. So he collects from the larger one. Rabbi Yochanan afili nich moli machat go for moli kardum. He says something interesting. Let's say he leaves a piece of property.
Okay.
It's worth, let's say, $1, and the creditor owes $100. The borrower owes $100. So what do you collect as a creditor? So you collect $1, okay? And let the borrower takes it back.
Okay.
I could go back and say I want another $1, because the lien doesn't leave the property until it's satisfied. So even it goes back 100 times. So even it's mole machat, I still could collect mole kardum, the larger amount. That's the understanding. Look in Rashi. Kloma kolchova lefisha hu yochel litrof lazo litrof kol shoshi ivdei mimenu. As long as he pays it. We're talking about the debtor pays him $1. The only thing he has in the estate is $1 worth of property. See, he pays the $1, he retains it. He says, I'm coming back for more. It's still liened because it's not satisfied.
Good.
It's an interesting concept.
He's taking off property.
No.
Very small amount.
The father left cash and he left a piece of property worth $1. The debt is $100. The money he can't touch. It's not liened, but the property is liened. How much is it liened for? For $100. But it's only worth $1. Doesn't make a difference. It's liened for, means if you could take $100 out of that property, you have a right to take $100 out of that property. So let's say the lender, the borrower's heir pays the lender $1, and to be able to hold on to the property. So after he pays him the $1, you know something, the creditor comes back and says, you know something, I want the property. He says, but I want to retain. He says, so you pay me. Pays him $1, right? And it goes back and forth because until the debt is satisfied, the lien remains attached to that property. That's what it means. Yeah, further. Ton Rabbani Yisoshem Levi Mase Yeshloch Biyodi. The Yisoshem Levi says, you know, I have Meiser, I tithe Meiser. Echosh L'Trumas Meiser, Shabo. Yeah. Okay? Yisrael Shema Levi Ma'aser Yesh Loch Biyodi and Choshel Chumas Ma'aser Shabo. Kur Ma'aser Yesh Biyodi Choshel Chumas Ma'aser Shabo. If he says, I have Ma'aser, we're not concerned that what? That this Chumas Ma'aser. Ein Choshin L'Chumas Ma'aser Shabo. When the Levi receives the Ma'aser, what does he have to do? He has to take a tenth and give it to the Kohen. So if the Yisrael says to the Levi, Ma'aser Yesh Loch Biyodi, right? We don't have to be concerned that when he said Ma'aser means including the Chumas Ma'aser. So that means he does not be tithed. But if he says, I have a Kur Ma'aser, he's not, there he's talking about already volume. No, volume of a Kur, Yesh Loch Biyod Choshin Chumas Ma'aser Shvo. My Kamar, what does it mean? Vayeh Hochi Kamar. Yisrael Shama Levi, Ma'aser Yesh Loch Biyodi, Veheler Domov. Yeah, Yisrael Shama Levi, Ma'aser Veheler Domov, and Choshem Osu Chumas Ma'aser. Al Mokom Acher. Yeah, what happens? Let's say we're talking about Makir Kuna. This Levi is my normal Levi. A Levi gets Ma'aser from a lot of Kohanim. Now, a Levi has not obligation to take Chumas Ma'aser. How much is Chumas Ma'aser? A tenth. So let's say the Yisrael calls the Levi, says, I have Ma'aser. Okay, Ma'aser normally is what? Is Chulin. It's Chulin. So he says to the Levi, I have it, and he says, I'll owe you the money. I'll pay you the money for it. Levi says, fine, you could keep it.
Okay.
So we have to suspect maybe the Levi, he tithed his other Ma'aser to be Yotze, no, to cover this, that this is it's all Chumas Ma'aser. You follow me?
Right.
If a Kohen has, let's say, enormous amount, yes, he receives Ma'aser from Reuven and receives Ma'aser from Shimon. So, and it's the same amount, so how much does he owe the Kohen between two? 20%. 10 from each.
So,
Let's say he takes the 20% from one, it's fine. Because he's obligated to give 20% of Chumas Ma'aser.
Right.
You see both of them as one, he gives 20%. 10% from both is the equivalent of 20% from each one individually. Okay? So let's say the Yisrael says to the Levi, I have Ma'aser, I'm willing to pay you for it, and the Levi says, fine, you could keep it. But let us suspect that maybe the Ma'aser that he has by the Yisrael, he made into Chumas Ma'aser. Right? He used that to absolve his Ma'aser from Chumas Ma'aser. So basically what he has is what is Truma. So if it's Truma, he's not permitted to eat it. He can't use it. Or its value is only saleable to sell to a Kohen. Right? We're not concerned. And Choshim, we're not concerned. Maybe that's what the Levi did. We're not concerned.
because
The simplest case, the beginning of the case, where it says I've got Ma'aser for you, but you pay it for it.
No, I'm willing to buy it. Levi says, fine, you can buy it.
Right, but whose obligation is it to tie it for the term?
The Levi.
So he has to tell the.
So we say if he didn't say anything to the Yisrael, we don't suspect that maybe he turned it all into Chumas Ma'aser.
Right. That I follow. Before it gets to that case, whose obligation is it to take out the Chumas?
The Chumas Ma'aser, it's going to be the obligation of the Yisrael who bought it from the Levi. Right? I mean, what happens to Chumas Ma'aser? The original, you're not concerned, it's all Chumas Ma'aser. Right? But what about the 10%? Right? Seemingly that 10% he has to take. Right? A second.
Yisrael has the one to take it for the
the
Give to the
Yisrael has to give it to the Levi, and then the Levi gives it to the Kohen.
Right, but it's not ever come into possession of the Levi because he's paying it for it.
No, he gives it to the Levi, and then the Levi has to turn around and give it to the Kohen.
But that's not the normal thing, the previous payment for it.
Right. Can he bypass that?
No, I mean, seemingly, the Gemara is not. What about the initial Chumas Ma'aser? We're not concerned that the whole thing is Chumas Ma'aser. When the Levi sold it to the Yisrael, right, but what about the original 10%? I mean, the Yisrael will tie the Ma'aser. Who
Right.
took the Chumas Ma'aser?
The Levi has to do it.
No, so when he sells them, he takes it. What happens if Yisrael inherits Truma from his grandfather?
Okay?
Right? Tevel.
Right.
He has a right to tithe it, and he has a right to keep it.
Right.
So if I purchase it from the Levi, that means I have the right now to take Trumas Meiser. So that 10% I'll give to a Kohen, but what remains I'll keep for myself.
That's right. Right.
You follow what I'm saying?
The Levi has to tell Yisrael,
He doesn't have to say a word to him.
I'll accept it.
No, the Levi says, I agree to sell it to you. So now it's as if the Yisrael's the Levi.
So you bought it.
So if you want to partake of that, you have to set aside 10%, give it to the Kohen, and the 9/10 is yours.
So
But what the Chiddush is, I don't suspect, maybe he made it all into Trumas Meiser. Okay, let's go further. What about Avo Amakur Masi Eshlo Biyod Noslo Hadomim Osli Yisrael Zelecho Menu Fil Hifrish Trumas Meiser LeKohen Fi Cheshbon Chashema Lacha Shekibel Hadomim Also Kulo Trumas Meiser Tishakurin Sheishlo Bebeso Meiser Atobel LeTrumas Meiser Kemed Lo Moshach Yochel Lasa Levi Apishu B'Shusa Sheisrael Lo Mosov Demis Kanya Levi Lincoln Levi Mekabos Mos Hilka Chozebo V'Oso Trumas Meiser of Hashem. Okay, let's see. Yisrael Shem Levi Masi Yeshlo Biyodi V'Helech Mo V'Echoshen Shema Osu Trumas Meiser Al Mokam Acher Kur Masi Yeshlo Biyodi V'Helech Domov same thing. Choshin Shema Osu Trumas Meiser Mokam Acher. Why the second case of my Choshish and not the first case? Aval Omar Kur Masi Yeshlo Biyodi V'Nosen Lo Domim Osu Yisrael Zelechol Himenu Afilu Hifrish Trumas Meiser LeKohen. Even see the Yisrael, even though we say v'cheshbono chashema lacha shekibel adomim also kul trumas meiser al tisha kurin sheish lo bebeso. 1 second. Masa atobel trumas meiser the keved lo moshach yochel laza levi pishu b'shusa sheish lo kon lo mosav deemes kanya ha levi the likni Yisrael b'kavos mos hilkoch. I don't get it. So why the first case am I not worried? Why the second case am I yes worried?
It sounds like the first case, all the players are the players. The second case,
Yeah. What does he say there, Yossi?
substitutes.
Yossi, what does he say?
Would that be right, Rabbi?
It's the exact same case. It's only
The second case of Yisrael.
I know it's just quantity, but again, I mean, first case we say you don't have to suspect. All the Yisrael has to do is take his 10% of Trumas Meiser. When you're dealing with a core, we're concerned maybe the Levi he turned it all into Trumas Meiser.
Right.
Why? It's the exact same case.
Well, he's going to sell it. So if he sells that to the Yisrael, then Yisrael now.
So either way, he says Heilich will take its value. First case, take its value. The second, yesh Heilich domov. Right? He said both cases. Take it, whatever the value is, take it.
Right.
I'm willing to pay for it. Okay. Second case, I'm concerned. First case, I'm not concerned. Why?
The second case, because Yisrael now is controlling what appears to be Truma. And he
What
has
is
to
it?
act
What-
like a Levi.
Since the Levi was told that a Korah Meiser was his, we are concerned that he might have designated the
Right.
entire Korah as Trumas Meiser,
Good.
the 9 Korahs of Meiser that he has.
And what about the first case? And the first case? What about the first case? Same thing. He says, I have Meiser, I want to purchase it from you. Right?
He first he separates the Trumas Meisers. Yeah, I see. Which would not be into Trumas Meisers.
Who's separating it the first time?
No, the Yisrael is the one now who's normally Levi, but if he purchases it, the Yisrael's take.
Right.
So we're saying even if the Yisrael takes 10%, it's not enough because the whole thing may be.
Right.
So good. So what's the difference in the first case, second case? If it's a small amount, I'm not concerned. A large amount, I am concerned. Why the large amount I'm concerned? It's the same thing. He says, I'm purchasing it. No, that's Gemara's question. That's Gemara's question. Someone says, "Oh, the Brishi Askinon."
It's saying a
I mean, is he
person-
going to be marshalim? The Levi's not going to be marshal Yisrael, even on the core. No, but again,
The first case he
well,
has
ask a better question. If I'm not concerned in the first case, why should we be concerned in the second case? The first case, he says to the Levi, "I have Meiser. It's yours." We say the Yisrael could take it. He doesn't have to be concerned. The whole thing's Trumas Meiser.
Right.
All the Yisrael has to do is take 10%, give it to the Kohen. The rest is he can eat. The core, I have to be concerned. Although he said, made this.
Because it's a poor, because it's a larger quantity, so they believe they may take it to be market or Malkamaka. There's a small quantity, there's no chash like that. That's what it is. There's not chash, it's like a
The chasash is that he would take the whole amount.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the larger amount. already you're not sure, so it's not going to come up. For the quantity. How much that mass if you
Okay, because there's a difference. So not more. The shakli domov, the shakli domi, umashli chumas meiser. Right? I mean, because again, if he took the money, how does he turn? He's stealing. He says to the Ben Levi, Mase lo avicha biyodi. I have the meiser that I normally give to your father, Heilu domov, and he says to the son, I'm willing to pay for it. So the son, and choshin shema also over chumas meiser, amokamacher. We don't not concerned. Maybe the father had what? Had turned into chumas meiser. Kor maslo vich biyod the helt dom choshin shema also over chumas meiser amokamacher. No, it's good. No, it's not the same question. Before we said, if he's dealing with the Kohen, if he paid for it, did he turn it? How can he take money if he turned it all to Masa Sheni, into Chumas Meiser? You can't sell something that doesn't belong to you, belongs to the Kohen, right? But over here it's speaking about he goes to the son. So let's say Makire Meiser, usually he gives it to this Levi. And he says, you know something, I want to purchase from you, right? The son knows nothing. So the son says, okay, I'll take it. But maybe before the father died, he already turned it. He turned it into Chumas Meiser. So the son not being aware of that, he's going to take the money. So that's concerned here. That's a good question. Yeah. A Levi is called a Chavir. Chavir means a person who's particularly observant of the mitzvahs. What's the halacha? I have tevel in two locations. I say tevel A should cover tevel B. B'di'eved is valid. It's a valid tithing. But lechatchila it's done wrong. It has to be all in the same location. It has to be all together in the same location. A chavir would never do such a thing. So what are we concerned? Maybe the father used that meiser to absolve something else. But if he's a chavir, he doesn't do such a thing. Because it's not in one location. So that's more v'chineshlu chavim lichov shlo min amukov el omer ravash hochama ben Yisrael shama levi. Yisrael says to a Levi, kach omer li'abo. The son of the heir of the no, not doing malva anymore. No longer malva. This is just the regular case. Kach omer li'abo masi yesh lebiyodi. My father died. He left over meiser. So now here, right biyodi, o masi lovicho. Or Masil Lovicha biyodi. Either the son, the heir speaking to the Levi, or the son speaking to the heir of the Levi. Choshel Chumas Meiser Shabo. We're concerned this may have been made into Chumas Meiser. 1 second. Meaning it wasn't tithed. Keved lo kayitz lo have misaken lei balabayis. Since it was not quantified. So the balabais, when you take Chumas Meiser, what do you have to take? You have to take exactly 10%. Let's say you can't take by estimation. The balabais has it, and he says, I have Meiser, right? I have Meiser of your father. He didn't tell him how much.
Right.
So if you tell him how much, how do you take Chumas Meiser? You can't take it, right? So therefore what? So lo hav misakli balabais. The balabais cannot tithe it on behalf of the Levi. What if it says kur masi ishlu biyodi or kur masi lovicha biyodi a choshen l'chumas ma'isi shabo, right? Tikevon the kayitz tikuni takti balabayis the bal v'chiyesh lo rishus l'balbayis l'chum chumas ma'isir. 1 second. We're saying if it's not hasn't been quantified, then the balabais doesn't take chumas ma'isir. So what is it? What is it?
It's nothing.
No, it's tevel. It's definitely tevel.
Well, but he has to quantify.
I understand. Wait a second. Ein choshin l'chumas ma'isir shabo. But if it's kur, since it's quantified, then he could tithe it.
Okay.
Then choshin. Kur ma'isir shabo or kur ma'isir ein choshin l'chumas ma'isir shabo. Why? The kavan, the kids, the kites tikuni takval. The balabais already separated it. So what's left is all maser. The trumas maser is not intermingled in there.
Good.
You know what I'm saying? If he just says maser yesh l'biyodei, the balabayis can't take it, right?
But if he tells you...
Wait. Why can't he take it? Because you have to take exactly 10%. But if he says kur, then he could take it. So much as v'chiyesh lo reshus l'balabayis lichum trumas maser. How does the balabayis have reshus? Who takes trumas maser? The Levi, right? He didn't purchase it. It's not his to take. Ein Abba Elozim ben Gabli. Abba Elozim ben Gabli nechshav lechem trumaschem b'shtei trumas hakos medaber. Achas trumas gedol, achas trumas meiser. Kshem she truma gedolin tells beomed umachshavo. Kach trumas meiser tells beomed umachshavo. Kshem sheyesh lo reshus lebalabais litrom truma gedolo. Kach balabais litrom trumas meiser. Eno chanami. La alocha. This is not the alocha. Normally, when the Levi gets the maser, he's the one who takes trumas meiser. Yisrael can't take it. But what about the Torah goes and equates trumas meiser to truma? Who takes the truma from what? From the tevel? The Yisrael.
Yeah.
So since it's nechtam trumaschem, it says it in the plural. So I treat trumas maser like truma gedola. Just as truma gedola, who takes it? The Yisrael. Trumas meiser also is taken from the maser that he's eventually going to give to the Levi. To the Levi. He takes it from the maser of the Levi. Normally the Levi should be taking it.
Right.
So we say no. The Torah equates the truma of the Levi, what the Levi has, to the truma of the Yisrael. So just as the Yisrael doesn't have to ask permission from anybody to take the truma from the tevel initially, he doesn't have to ask permission from the Levi to take the trumas meiser from the meiser that he eventually is going to give to him. So he doesn't have to give it. It's not zoch, no. It's not a chiv on him.
He's not obligated.
It's not the mitzvah of Levi.
No.
The way this Abba Eloz ben Gamlu is learning the mitzvahs on the Yisrael. There's a mitzvah on the Yisrael, there's no mitzvah on the Levi whatsoever. Truma haloi masi shalo el shalevi term shlomidas v'shtei trumas. I just want to say something. Yeah. So if he does Samish, does he end up giving up the Levi? Does he give him 10%? Does he give him 10%? Does he, or he has to give him the full 10%? It's a dochik. I mean, the Torah says you have to give it the Levi Meiser. Turns out you don't give him Meiser. You're not giving him Meiser. No, if you give him no. If you give him Meiser, it's like Tevel. Tevel, before you mafresh, it's all chulin. The Levi receives 10%, it's fully his. If he's Mekadosh and Isha with Maser, she's Mekudeshes with the whole amount. He has an obligation to take 10% now. So he's taking 10% from his own and giving it away.
Okay.
But over here, if the Yisrael takes the Truma before he gives it to the Levi, how much is the Levi getting? He's getting 9/10.
Right.
He's not getting 10%. So maybe he takes it, then he gives him a full 10%.
Oh. Okay. He owes it. Yeah.
But otherwise, then he's not giving him Meiser. But what does the Torah say? The Torah says you should give. I know, but the Torah says you should give the Levi Maser. That's the question.
No, it can't be.
If you have 100 pitos and you give truma is you give one. Okay, so it's 99. So then the matzah is 9.9.
So that's what you have to give the
It's not 9.9. And then if you get trumas matzah, so it's one.
Yeah.
It's 10%
1%
of 9.9. Yes, 10%
And then
of
the
that.
Levi then gets less. He gets whatever he gets.
Well, he's getting
9.1
10%, but he's getting 10%.
of the net.
Yeah, that's
Of the
good.
net. not
So what
the
says
net.
Masa means? It means net. I mean, that's the net. That's what it's dochi in the Pashup Shot in the Pasuk. Well, if the Levi gets the full 10% and he has to give Trumas Maser, he got 10%. He got 10%.
When you say 10% of what? 10% after the...
No, I understand that, but I'm saying simply you read the Torah. What does 10% mean? He gets a full 10%, which is his. That he has to give away part of it. That's a separate situation. Levi has to give nothing away.
Right.
But Yisrael has to give it.
The Yisrael, that's his.
Because otherwise, whatever he has, any of it could be truma. Could be the truma meiser. So he has to give it that to the.
No, he takes 10%. No. He takes truma from the large amount.
His own truma.
Wait, now he has to take 10%. What's left?
Right.
Of that 10%, he has to take 10% of that, as he took the truma from the whole larger number, and now he gives 9/10 of what's left to the Levi.
Right.
So when it says you should give Maser, it means you should set aside Maser for the Levi, and you have the responsibility to tithe it.
Again.
It's not again. You're tithing Maser now. Before Maser didn't exist.
Oh, okay.
Now you're tithing Maser.
Right.
You have to tie it to that truma because you can't touch it otherwise. You can't eat it.
Correct. You can't.
So any part of that could be the meiser.
No, not because any part. No, because it's Tevil. Maser until it's tithed, it's called Tevil. It's Tevil. It's untithed Maser. You're not permitted to eat untithed Maser. Like initially, you're not permitted to eat untithed grain. Same idea. Okay.